In a deeply interconnected world, how could an invisible microscopic enemy push the global healthcare system to the brink of complete collapse? Let's delve deeper into this enemy now. A microscopic invisible particle drifts quietly through the damp air of a crowded indoor room. It lands gently on the moist surface of a person's upper respiratory tract. The severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus 2 has found its new human host. Wrapped in a fragile envelope of fat and proteins, it is not even strictly alive. Yet it possesses a singular, ruthless purpose: to hijack a living cell and replicate. Millions of epithelial cells line the intricate branching highways of the human lungs. These border guards protect the body's delicate mucosal tissues from the outside world. The viral spike protein locks onto a specific ACE2 receptor on the cell's outer membrane. The deceived cell welcomes the invader inside, completely unaware of the impending catastrophe. Within the warm cytoplasm, the viral hull sheds its protective outer layer. It releases its single-stranded genetic blueprint directly into the cellular machinery. The host cell, treating these instructions as its own, begins churning out viral components. Ribosomes assemble new viral proteins, day and night, without a moment of rest. Inside the swelling factory, copies accumulate until they reach a dangerous critical mass. A final internal command echoes through the dying cell: self-destruct. The cell membrane melts away, releasing thousands of brand new viral particles into the tissue. These fresh invaders scatter rapidly, infecting neighboring cells in an unstoppable exponential wave. After about 10 days, millions of body cells are compromised. Billions of viral copies swarm the microscopic spaces of rumbling respiratory tubes. The tissue begins to break down, but the true crisis has only just begun. The virus triggers a massive, unrestrained beast: the human immune system. Specialized white blood cells rush toward the lungs in a frantic rescue mission. But cells have neither eyes nor ears to assess the true scale of the threat. They rely entirely on tiny molecular messengers called cytokines to communicate. The infected immune cells overreact wildly, screaming bloody murder across the biological network. A chaotic fighting frenzy erupts, sending far too many soldiers to the battlefield. Neutrophils arrive in their destructive thousands, eager to purge the infection. These aggressive cells pump out toxic enzymes that destroy friend and foe alike. Healthy lung tissue dissolves under the friendly fire of the body's own defenders. Killer T cells join the fray, traditionally tasked with ordering infected cells to commit suicide. Blinded by confusion, they begin commanding completely healthy cells to destroy themselves too. The battlefield transforms into a smoking ruin of cellular debris and fluid. In most cases, the immune system eventually regains its composure and crushes the intruder. Scavenger cells clean up the microscopic wreckage as the long recovery process begins. But in severe cases, the damage is catastrophic and irreversible. Millions of protective epithelial cells perish, leaving the delicate lung lining completely exposed. Tiny air sacs called alveoli fill with fluid and cellular waste, making breathing an agonizing struggle. Opportunistic bacteria seize the opportunity to invade the weakened tissue, sparking dangerous pneumonia. Oxygen levels plummet as the patient's chest heaves with desperate shallow gasps. Hospital monitors beep frantically in a sterile, brightly lit intensive care unit. A mechanical ventilator hums rhythmically, forcing air into failing lungs. The body fights at maximum capacity for weeks, burning through energy reserves. If secondary bacterial infections overwhelm the bloodstream, systemic failure follows. This stark reality reveals why coronavirus is far more dangerous than the seasonal flu. It is not just the virus itself that destroys the body, but the furious overreaction it provokes. Zooming out from the microscopic battlefield, a global crisis unfolds across society. Epidemiologists track the rising infection curves on glowing computer screens in quiet offices. Two distinct futures lie ahead for humanity during a viral outbreak: fast or slow. A fast pandemic explodes overnight, overwhelming hospitals before doctors can respond. Without countermeasures, the infection rate spikes vertically on every statistical chart. Medical staff run out of beds, oxygen tanks, and life-saving equipment within days. Heartbreaking choices must be made about who receives treatment and who is left behind. Healthcare workers fall ill themselves, causing the system's capacity to collapse completely. In this nightmare scenario, preventable deaths multiply rapidly across every city. Conversely, a slow pandemic bends the curve into a manageable, rolling slope. Every patient who falls ill receives the specialized care they desperately need. Hospitals maintain their footing, and researchers gain crucial time to develop vaccines. Deciding which future unfolds depends entirely on collective human behavior. Since specific medications take time to formulate, everyday actions become our primary shield. Society must socially engineer its daily habits to act as a living, breathing vaccine. This grand strategy rests on two simple yet vital pillars: avoiding infection and stopping transmission. Surprisingly, the most powerful weapon against the virus is ordinary hand soap. Under a molecular lens, soap molecules feature hydrophilic heads and hydrophobic tails. They aggressively attack and tear apart the fragile fat envelope protecting the coronavirus. Stripped of its outer hull, the virus is instantly neutralized and rendered harmless. The mechanical friction of washing hands washes away millions of loosened particles down the drain. Public health officials urge citizens to scrub vigorously for 20 seconds. Beyond hand washing, social distancing forces the invisible enemy to halt its spread. Empty streets stretch silently under a pale morning sun, devoid of morning commuters. Office buildings turn off their lights, and universities transition to quiet virtual screens. Handshakes and hugs are temporarily suspended to protect the vulnerable. Essential workers step up bravely, keeping grocery stores, police stations, and hospitals functioning. Quarantines descend upon entire nations, restricting travel and enforcing home confinement. Though lonely and economically draining, isolation buys invaluable time for science. Researchers work around the clock in high-security laboratories, sequencing genetic material. They analyze protein structures, searching for a synthetic antidote to stop the microscopic invader. Clinical trials move at unprecedented speeds, testing candidate vaccines on volunteers. Hope flickers in test tubes filled with clear amber liquids under fluorescent lights. Ordinary citizens adapt to the new normal, wearing cloth masks over their noses and mouths. Children learn through glowing computer monitors from kitchen tables instead of classrooms. Communities rally together, ringing bells from balconies to honor frontline healthcare workers. The invisible threat forces humanity to confront its deep interconnectedness. A single cough in a crowded subway car can ripple across continents within days. Globalization made the world smaller, but it also accelerated the paths of contagion. Yet human ingenuity has repeatedly conquered ancient plagues throughout history. From smallpox to polio, scientific collaboration has turned terrifying tides into manageable memories. The coronavirus pandemic serves as a stark reminder of nature's unpredictable power. It exposes the fragile cracks in modern healthcare infrastructure worldwide. It also highlights the extraordinary resilience of ordinary people making extraordinary sacrifices. As months pass, vaccination campaigns roll out like massive logistical operations. Elderly citizens roll up their sleeves in converted gymnasiums and community centers. Nurses draw clear liquid from small glass vials with practiced, steady hands. Each injection trains the human immune system safely without the risk of severe disease. Memory B cells learn to recognize the viral spike protein instantly. Antibodies form a protective shield, ready to neutralize the enemy before infection takes root. Infection rates begin to recede in regions with high vaccination coverage. Restrictions ease gradually, and cafe chairs reappear on sunlit sidewalks. People embrace loved ones after months of agonizing separation, shedding tears of relief. The world does not return completely to the way it was before. A lingering collective memory remains etched into the global consciousness. Scientists continue to monitor emerging variants through genetic surveillance networks. Laboratories sequence thousands of viral samples weekly to catch mutations early. Global health organizations establish early warning systems to prevent future outbreaks. Air filtration standards improve significantly in public schools and office buildings. Hand sanitizing stations become permanent fixtures at every doorway and storefront. Medical research funding surges, laying groundwork for future mRNA innovations. The boundary between virology and everyday life has been forever rewritten. Looking back, the crisis tested the moral and scientific fabric of civilization. It proved that facts, data, and solidarity are more powerful than fear and misinformation. Inside the human body, the microscopic dance of cells and pathogens continues quietly. Billions of immune cells patrol the bloodstream, eternally vigilant against new threats. The lungs expand and contract effortlessly with every breath of fresh air. A person walks through a sunlit park, feeling the warm breeze on their face. They pause to watch a child blow bubbles that shimmer with prismatic rainbow colors. Those delicate soap bubbles float upward into the open, endless sky. A simple reminder of the humble chemical tool that helped save millions. The city skyline hums with renewed energy as commerce and culture awaken. Public parks fill with laughter, music, and the vibrant chatter of restored community life. Healthcare workers hang up their heavy protective gear after grueling heroic shifts. They step out into the evening light, breathing deeply under the open stars. The pandemic taught humanity that survival requires cooperation across borders. No nation can isolate itself from the microscopic currents of the natural world. Science is not a belief system but a self-correcting method of finding truth. When trusted, it transforms invisible terror into curable reality. The microscopic protein spikes that once caused global panic are now mapped in exquisite detail. Pharmaceutical factories turn out billions of doses with industrial precision. Distribution networks span deserts, oceans, and mountain ranges to reach remote villages. Volunteers carry coolers of vaccines on foot through rugged terrain to protect the vulnerable. Human determination proves equal to the microscopic challenge thrown down by nature. Back in the quiet research labs, microscopes hum softly under dim lights. Researchers peer into glowing screens, studying the next generation of universal vaccines. They prepare for future viral threats long before they ever cross species barriers. Education programs teach children the fundamental importance of hygiene and public health. Hand washing becomes a lifelong habit ingrained from the earliest years of school. The scars left by the pandemic heal slowly into wisdom and preparedness. Monuments are erected in cities worldwide to honor those lost during the darkest months. Names are carved into polished stone as a permanent testament to collective resilience. Life moves forward with a deeper appreciation for ordinary moments of health and freedom. A shared cup of coffee with a friend suddenly feels like an extraordinary privilege. A crowded concert hall vibrating with sound feels like a celebration of human endurance. The invisible virus changed how humanity perceives the microscopic universe. We now understand that our survival depends on protecting one another collectively. Every action ripples outward to shape the destiny of entire populations. Every time a person washes their hands, they participate in a global act of defense. Every time a community listens to science, it pulls back from the edge of disaster. The biological battleground inside the human lung remains an intricate, marvelous engine. Cells continue their ceaseless work, maintaining the delicate balance of life. The sun rises over a peaceful, interconnected world, waking up to a brighter horizon. Humanity steps forward into the future, wiser, stronger, and more united than ever. A quiet breeze whispers through the trees, carrying the resilient spirit of a surviving world.